Hi, I'm Sian Banfield and I'm a mother of two. This is my second career education. I initially worked in broadcasting as a TV reporter and presenter, and now my two children have grown up and gone off to university. I'm looking for a new adventure, a new challenge, and that's really what appeals to me about coming to Sark. So my first answer was to the question about what I would say to a young teacher also applying for a job at Sark. And I would say I can understand why you feel anxious about coming to a school that's not only new to you, but has a new head as well. But I would hope that you would see it as a fantastic opportunity and challenge. I would like to see us forging ahead with a whole new scheme of ideas at Sark, and you can be a part of that. So it's your chance to really make a difference and be part of a brand new team, which I think could be really exciting. What I would say to a parent who's a little confused about the average age score is that assessments are something that we use really to help us make sure that your children are progressing the way that we'd like them to. And if there are any gaps, hopefully they'll indicate to us where these gaps are. The age-related score that you get is an indicator of how well they're doing. So, for example, your Year 6 child, who is 11, is scoring at 13 years and 9 months. That means they're scoring over 2 years above their actual age. So they're getting a mark which you would expect an average child of 13 years and 9 months to get. So for us, that's good news. That's where we'd like to see the children getting and accessing. Now, what we really want to see is a growth of progress. So we're going to be testing your children every year. So your Year 1 child, they're getting tested this year. Now, they may find this a little odd. Their result may not be as high as we'd like, but that's fine because it's the first time they've experienced these tests. What we'll hope to see is through the years a line of progress which will chart at a steeper slope than the average line, and that would indicate to us that they're making better than average progress, which is exactly where we want all of our children to be. We're really delighted that people would like to come and work and volunteer with us, and there are lots and lots of different ways that you can come and work with the children with us. For example, it's really important for us to be able to bring in people who have specialist skills and enthusiasms to enthuse the children. So, for example, working perhaps in a cooking club or a wildlife club, or maybe you have special astronomical knowledge that we could share with the children. All of these things would really enhance the way that we work at school. Now, to make sure that you're happy, we need to know a little bit about you. So we'd want to do a little bit of a questionnaire, find out about you, your interests, and your background, whether you've had children yourself and know what it's like to work with them. We'd then suggest perhaps you come in and spend a session with us in the classroom to see how you fit in, to see if you enjoy it. And if all of that goes well and we can find an area for you to work in, we would then wish to do a DBS check. Now, what that means is that we're checking that you are safe and secure to be with our children. This is a national procedure and everybody at school undergoes one of these. Having done that, and all being well, we'd then carry out a little induction with you so you understand our procedures and our policies, the way we work at school, and hopefully then you'll be able to come and be a part of our community here. And hopefully you'll feel a really welcome part of our school. It's really important to us that everybody who works with us at school feels valued as part of our community. My first assembly is going to be a really important occasion for all of us. And I think it's an opportunity for me to find out about the children as much as for them to find out about me. So the first thing that I would like to do is put the children into groups of mixed ages and ask them to think about three things. First of all, something amazing, something they're proud of about Sark and its school. Then something that will surprise me about Sark School. And thirdly, something that they would like for the future. It'll give them an opportunity to think about anything that they feel needs to change. Once we've shared all their ideas, then it's my turn. Hopefully, I'll be able to tell them something amazing about me. Secondly, something surprising about me. And then thirdly, a chance for me to reflect on how well I can move forward with their ideas, but also put before them a few ideas of my own. Things that I'd maybe like to see at the school would be an increasing opportunity to look outside of Britain and the Channel Islands and forge some links with overseas schools maybe. And also one of my great passions is music and the arts, and so I'll be looking to bring as much music and performance into school as possible. The role of the governors is a really important one. I've seen it described as that of critical friendship, and I think that's a brilliant explanation. You're critical in that you are very important to us. You're also critical in that you're there to hold me to account, but you are there as friends. You have the best interests of our school at heart. Now, this shouldn't be an onerous role. You don't have to get involved in day-to-day running. That's my responsibility. But you are there to check that I am doing my job properly, that I'm managing the school financially, and that I am providing the best education we can possibly give our children. You're there to help me with things like recruitment and in establishing protocols and procedures and making sure that we have the right policies for our school. Keeping our children safe and happy and giving them the best education possible is a responsibility for you and for me. Now, I hope we'll never have any difficulties to address, but they could come along, and at that point you're there to provide me with all the support and help that I'll need. And I'm hoping that we can work really, really well as a team full of trust and basically putting our children at the forefront of everything we do. Inspirational teaching is what we all want to achieve with every lesson we teach. Of course, in reality, we can all improve all the time. There's no such thing as a perfect teacher, and if we don't carry on learning ourselves, we're never going to be teaching the children to be good learners either. So in my session with the staff, I'd like to introduce them to some research carried out by the CFBT Education Trust, in which head teachers identified teachers that they believed were truly inspirational. And then the researchers looked at what it was about these teachers that made them so good. So the first thing they identified was that they showed respect to the pupils. They listened to what they had to say, they gave them input in the classrooms, and they always provided good feedback to what they had to say. The next one was that they managed their classrooms really well, both the physical environment and their resources and the way that they handled their lessons. They always gave clear instructions and they always gave good feedback in lessons. They differentiated not so much by activity, but by the way they handled each individual child, either through questioning or through one-to-one or group work. Now, obviously, in a mixed age class, there are going to be times when they will be learning different things and we will need to differentiate by activity. But it's amazing how much we can give a whole class a similar task and then make it appropriate to their own needs. They also made sure that children were able to engage with a really clear objective, and they made that objective relevant to the children or exciting for the children, and this is really important. And they brought variety into the classroom. They didn't teach in the same way with every lesson, so they mixed up the way they worked, the way the children worked, be it in single desks or working in groups, and they tried to bring in some excitement. Now, having discussed all of this, I'd asked the staff to share some of their examples of lessons they feel that they taught that were really inspirational. I'd then look at asking them to highlight each of the different ways that we've talked about and how they may be emotional or physical or pedagogical, and ask them to analyse what kinds of extra preparation or extra marking or extra resources they feel they might need to bring to their lesson to make them able to fit these new and more inspiring ways of teaching. I'm hoping that it would enable the staff to see that we can improve our teaching without overburdening ourselves. It doesn't have to mean throwing the baby out with the bathwater or bringing in huge amounts of expensive resources or carrying out lots of extra preparation. With just a little bit of preparation and a really positive attitude to the children and to our relationships with them, we can really improve our teaching. Finally, I'd ask us to work together on a specific task. Perhaps we would choose a class and a specific lesson and come together to devise a lesson that we feel would be really inspirational using the resources we already have to hand. Hopefully, we'd all come away feeling like we can be better teachers after that.